Shalom, 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 Yasha'Allah. This your boy, Brother Shamwa Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called An Uncertain Sound. An Uncertain Sound. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. All right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and on the hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom to you all as well. All right, like I said, today's lesson is going to be called An Uncertain Sound. All right, and you have your boy back at it, Bishop Nathaniel, changing his tune, like Elder Apostle Tahar said, trying to add in that micro C hip, all right, so he can cover he can CYA, and that's what we see going on here, all right. I know Elder Apostle Tahar did a lesson on this, and I just want to play it real quick just from the point, and then just get a couple of scriptures. Like I say, Lord's will, this is edifying. All right, let's get into it.
Revelation 13 and 16. Watch this. Revelation 13 and 16.
Times of a one currency, a mark of the beast.
All right, this is the part that I want. All right, so fair use, fair use, fair use. All right, Bishop Nathaniel was on 3 Milli Productions. This was from 5 days ago, so I just want to play this real quick. So fair use, fair use, fair use.
Revelation 13 and...
We could potentially have one currency. Where is that? Crazy. And seeing him with his AI advancement, SpaceX, Tesla.
God! You gotta be kidding me.
For sure.
Fair use.
Technology. Elon Musk, I thought about him instantly. He is like our quasi-president, if you will, because, seeing pictures of him standing over.
So this guy, he thought of technology, and he's going to apply it to Revelation 13, 16, right? Well, the technology is what? It's physical. All right. So fair use, fair use, fair use.
Trump pictures, they mean everything. And it's like, wow, that's crazy. And seeing him with his AI advancement, SpaceX, Tesla, Dogecoin is now trying to take over, right? So we could potentially have one currency. Where is that in the Bible where, times of a one currency, mark of the beast?
That's Revelation.
So he said the one currency, right? The mark of the beast. All right. And here's your boy, Bishop Nate. All right. Fair use, fair use.
13 and 16. Watch this. Revelation 13 and 16, and then Daniel 12 and 4. Actually, give me Daniel 12 and 4 first. Daniel 12 and 4. I want that one first, about technology. Come
Daniel,
on.
chapter 12, verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book.
The book is the Bible. Seal it up. Go ahead.
Even to the time of the end.
This is the time of the end. It's open now. That's what we're waking up saying, we're the Israelites. We're the people in the book. Go ahead.
Many shall run to and fro.
To try to get understanding.
Right. So he's trying to slip it in there. We know he's been talking about, it was embargo, sin and all this it's changed just like the seasons. Okay. So now he's kind of trying to mix it in there and add this in here. Okay. Let's go. Fair use, fair use.
Go ahead.
And knowledge shall be increased.
That word knowledge translates to science. Science shall be increased. And this is what you see with Elon Musk. Now, regarding the currency exchange, get that in Revelation 13 or 16.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
Meaning everybody.
To receive a mark in their right hand.
The mark that you're going to support is sin. They're going to make the Bible illegal. At least the way we teach it's going to be illegal. That's why Trump has new laws for anti-Semitism and he said anti-Christian laws.
Yeah, he did.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Like Elon is trying to make a brain chip, but that's really not what it's talking about. Go ahead.
And that no man.
So he kind of just threw that out there, right? He's not gonna make a. He's making a brain chip, but that's not what it is. That is what it is. It's a physical thing. You just literally talk about science, the technology, right? Or knowledge shall increase. And you use the science as the technology, but then you're saying that's not what it is, right? It's the brain C hip and the RFID C hip that's in the hand, okay? But he's kind of skirting around it. So then, when it comes around, he can say, well, I said that, right? Like Elder Apostle Tahar said, if you heard me, moron, if you heard me, let me see if is there any more on this.
Man might buy or sell.
Meaning trade. Buying and selling deals with commerce. You won't be able to do that. Go ahead.
Save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
Which is 666. So that in currency exchange of buying and selling, they're going to control that. That will bend the population to do what they say, to do what they want. Make the Bible illegal. If you don't, condemn this book like during the time of Rome. In order to buy and sell, I believe it was during the time of Claudius, they had a coin where they had to confess that Caesar was God. And if you did not do it, you could not buy and sell. So this isn't the first time. We read that and go, this is the first time it ever happened. No, that.
Right, so here he is again, skirting around what it is, all right? And let's just get into it, all right? Let's go to Revelation 13 and 16. We know that this is a physical thing, right? But he continues to kind of skirt around it and dance with it. Yeah, that's not what it is, though, right? He's gonna make a chip, right, for your head, but that's not what it's talking about, right? Now it's talking about trading and embargo. No, you're not gonna be able to buy or sell unless you have that mark, right? Revelation 13 and verse number 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. It's plain. It's simple. Right. This is a physical thing that you're going to have to get in your hand or your forehead in order to buy or sell. All right. Not talking about trading and everything, but all of that. You got to do. Listen, it's a physical device. Right. Esau's going to use his technology or his science, like you said, right, and he's creating. He already has created. It's already actually, it's out there. It just has to be implemented. All right. But you want to continue to dance and skirt around what it is. It's a physical thing. All right. When we go in and we find that word, mark, right? Let's get that. All right.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma.
Right. Charagma. All right. Stamp, imprinted mark of a mark stamped on. It says a mark branded upon horses, thing carved, sculptured, graven work of idolatrous images. All right. But it's a thing, it's a physical thing. All right. A physical thing. All right. And it's the RFID C hip. Right. And the elder apostles, right, started from Elder Apostle Tahar from GML. They've been saying it since the beginning and they haven't changed. All right. But here you have Nate going on there in these different places and he's been changing it like the wind. He's been changing up, over and over again. All right. It is a physical thing. All right. It's a physical thing. That mark is physical. OK. And the scriptures talk about it, for taking it. It talks about how you're going to get grievous sores. All right. When you continue to read. All right. And this is why, the scriptures tell you, James, is it 1 and 8? James chapter 1 and verse number 8, it says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. All right. You know, one day is this, another day is that. You know, either it is or it's not, right? You know, you keep changing, you know, over and over again. All right. And the scriptures tell us about, what is that? Not being tossed to and fro. Let's see if I can get that real quick. Ephesians, right? Ephesians chapter 4 and verse number 14. It says that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Right? And that's what he's doing. All right. He's deceiving. All right. You know, he knows. Well, he's like, well, you know, he's making one. But that's not what it is. Right? No, that is what it is. Right? That's part of it. You got the one in the head, you got the one in the forehead. I mean, a slaki, you got the one in the hand, you got the one that, you know, you have the Neuralink, you have these other nations too who are making these same type of devices. Right? China, right, is having it where they have a real thin one that goes into the head. All right. This is all that part. Okay. It says in Ephesians 4 and 14, it says that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. All right. In the NLT, it says, then we will no longer be immature like children. We won't be tossed and blown about by every wind of new teaching. We will not be influenced when people try to trick us with lies so clever they sound like the truth, right? And that's what he does. All right. He uses these, you know, crafty words and intertwines them, and, you know, he'll throw a little in there and he'll mix it up and, you know, and try to get people to, he basically is deceiving people, right? He knows what it is. Okay. He knows what it is. All right. He's choosing not to push it. Right. And, you know, ultimately probably he took the bag, man. Right. He took that money, right, where he can't teach it. All right. Just like the names. All right. He's taken, you know, you think about it, right? He you know, was it 20 something years ago? He had a whole video about, you know, the true names of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And then what? Now we don't know the names, you know? We don't have the names, right? This is the information that's given. Okay? You can't trust people like that. That's why it says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, right? Because the scriptures clearly tell you that you have to have the names. You have to then, and the elect, they're going to know the names. The chosen, they're going to know. Yahawashi said, I have manifested the name to them. So the name is going to be with them. All right? So, you know, to sit there and you have people try to send in these falsehoods about they don't know what's going on, right? It's deceivable, all right? Salakia. Right? So you know, when you say you don't have the true names, then you don't have the Rawchaa Qadash, man, or the Holy Spirit, all right? Because Yahawashi told us, right? Let's get that. John 14. Salaki, in verse number 26. And it says, but the Comforter, which is the Rawchaa Qadash, whom the Father, right, Yahawah, will send in my name, right, Yahawashi, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. Okay? And remember, the Lord manifested the name to his disciples. All right? So the name is there. We have the name. All right? We have the name, right? You can't have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and not have the name. Right? It doesn't make sense. All right? But that's the thing. Like he's blowing the trumpet, and it's an uncertain sound that's coming from it. All right? 1 Corinthians 14 and start at verse number 7. All right. It says, and even things without living giving sound, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds, how shall it be known what is piped or harped? It says, for if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself for battle? Okay? And right now, you're not preparing people and warning people because you're not blowing the trumpet accordingly. Right? You're telling them, that it's trade, it's embargo, it's sin, or whatever else that you're saying. No, it's a physical thing. It's the RFID C-hip. All right? That's Revelation 13 and 16. Right? And that's the only way that you're going to be able to buy and sell in this new world order. Right? Is if you have that. All right? It's a physical thing. All right. So what Elon Musk is working on, that's part of it. Right. And they already have the RFID. Right. It has to be implemented. Right. The mandatory implemented. All right. Let me read the NLT. 1 Corinthians 14 and 7. Even lifelessness instruments like the flute or the harp must play the notes clearly, or no one will recognize the melody. Okay. And if the bugler, if the bugler doesn't sound a clear call, how will the soldiers know that they are being called to battle? Okay. So right now you got people, you're leading people because you're blowing a false trumpet, right? A uncertain sound. So people are, they're not worried. They're not confounded. They're like, we're good. Right. Well, I don't do any trading, So I guess I'm good, right? You're not showing them the correct message, all right? Let's get that, and we'll close it out. The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse number 1, it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahawah Bahasham answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may read, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come, it shall not tarry. All right. So it says, in the NLT, it says, I will climb up to my watchtower. Right. And what does the watcher do? He watches for danger. And what does he do? He blows the alarm of the trumpet if there's something that's out of order. Right. He's to warn the people. OK, it says there I will wait. It says, and stand at my guard post. There I will wait to see what Yahawah says and how he will answer my complaint. Then said Yahawah Bahasham said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets so that a runner can carry the correct message to the others. Okay, playing that correct sound, blowing the trumpet correctly. All right, so that you can warn the people, so the people can understand. That's danger. All right. It says the vision is yet for a future time. It describes the end. Right. And it said, but at the end it shall speak. Right. Remember, he brought out Daniel 12. Knowledge shall increase. Okay. Knowledge shall increase. Okay. What is Esau doing? His technology, right, that he's going to use to implement to try to take and control the people. Okay. It says it is described it describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. Okay. So understand, when you're not blowing the trumpet correctly, you're playing an uncertain sound. You're deceiving the people. All right. And he continues to do that. All right. And to cause the people to go astray, to not be worried. Right. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city? And Yahawah Bahasham, let me get that real quick. Amos, I believe it's 3. Amos 3 and 6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city? and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and Yahawah Bahasham Shai have not done it? Okay. It says, when the ram's horn blows, the NOT, a warning, shouldn't the people be alarmed? Does the disaster come to a city unless Yahawah Bahasham Shai has planned it? It's a rhetorical question. We know. All right. But the ram's horn is being blown, and the people are not afraid because he's not blowing the correct sound. He's not, blowing the trumpet correctly. All right. So I just wanted to do this lesson. Like I say, Lord's will, this was edifying, right? But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad. A mighty shalom to the 144,000 men. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have ruled well to the spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. Another mighty shalom to the rest of the elect out there. Stay diligent, stay focused, keep praying for one another. Continue to watch, right? And don't be deceived, right? And stay and watch, all right? Because there are many people out to try to deceive of what's going on, right? We know, all right, what Revelation 13, 16, and 17 is, all right? And you have people who are trying to water it, filter it, change it up, right? But it is what it is, all right? We know what it is, all right? So don't be deceived, don't be fooled by their uncertain sound that they are pushing out, all right? And with that, I'll say a ball, shalom.